Hey, what's going on YouTube? In this video, we're going to see if we can make some DIY car ramps to make oil changes easier. Coming up. So I picked up a couple of boards from Lowe's. I picked up two 2x10 by 10 foot boards, and we're going to see if we can get all of the ramps that I need out of this. I do have some 2x6s out here just to mock it up before I start cutting. I wanted to space it out to make sure that I could get the ramp compact enough to get the most out of it, but be able to get the most rise. At first I was thinking that each step needed to be 12 inches, but now that I laid it out, I can see that I can adequately do 8 inches for each step. I am going to angle each one. You don't have to. I'm going to just because why not? So I want to go 5 layers high. That should give us about 7.5 inches of lift in the front end here. That should be enough to get underneath it. I don't usually use like a dolly or a creeper to get underneath the vehicle. My garage is clean and it's smooth, so I usually just lay on the concrete and slide underneath if I need to. So I've watched some other videos and taken some ideas from a few of those videos and combined them into what I'm making here. Now I only bought 2 boards. If you want to avoid having to do what I did, get 3 of them, or get your third one could be an 8-foot one. So I just used some scrap 2x4s that I have laying around to fill in the gaps, and I'll show you what I did. All right, so this is what I have mocked up so far. I still need to add another layer here, but this is where the car tire will sit, is on this edge, or on this section, and I want to hinge it so that I can move the ramp out of the way in case I need to get underneath it. So this is what I did with the 2x4s to add the extra space that I needed. Obviously it looks like I'm going to be about 4 feet short, so if I had gotten a third board, then I would have avoided this, but originally I was just going to go 4 high, but then I saw another video and this is what he did in his. He used a lot more 2x4s in his design. Mine pretty much has all 2x10s. He also has a lot more angles. It's a lot more complicated, and I'm not that good, and I don't trust myself to be able to cut that many angles. He has an angle kind of like cut out of here with a ledge and some bolts sticking up so that he could like basically set his ramp on 2 pins, and then he had 2x4s run underneath a board. So he had a lot more angles going on, had an angle cut in here and angles cut on the board there, and I'm just not that good, and I don't trust myself to try and do that without wasting a whole lot of wood. So I did it this way. And so I have some more cutting to do. I got to take that other board out, and we'll get to that. So I do have a 10-inch sliding miter saw that's going to make this a whole lot easier. You could do this with a hand saw. That would be a nightmare, but you could. Handheld circular saw would make it easier, and this is going to make it the easiest for us. Remember to use hearing and eye protection. I don't know how some of you guys do it. I use hearing protection all the time, but I already have tinnitus, which is constant ringing in the ears. It's really bad, and sometimes it's so loud that it'll keep me awake at night. So I definitely suggest wearing hearing protection and definitely eye protection. For these angled cuts, I'm just going all the way over as far as my saw will go, which is just past 45 degrees. So most of this stuff I bought from Lowe's, like the hinges, but these latches I did pick up off from Amazon. If you're looking for something like this, there'll be a link in the description below. It doesn't cost you anything to use it, but it does help us out just a little bit. All right, here's the end results. You can see that we have a hinge there on the outside. It's opposite on the other one. It's just standing up right now. That way when we hinge it, it'll swing out of the way. You don't want it to swing under the car. You want it to swing on the outside. That could be a problem if it swung inside. So basically this is going to be for the left front. I added a piece to the end here. This is just what I had. It's not the same width, but this should be an adequate tire stop. But it's always a good idea to have somebody supervise when you pull it up. I have it stood up because I put this grip tape on the bottom. I don't think this is gonna last. I just had it. I figured I'd give it a try, but I don't think it's gonna last very long. It's pretty soft. I think it's gonna come apart, but hopefully it'll be enough grip on this smooth concrete here to keep them from sliding out. You can see that we have the latch on the side. And we can open it up like that, and then we should be able to swing it open, or swing it out of the way. I'm doing it one-handed because I'm holding the camera with the other hand, so it's not easy. Am I on top?
Yep. Go down on top. There you go. You're good? Don't worry for this.
So this very top one, I didn't angle it. I didn't even think about it when I made it. I did make these 12 inches deep, or I guess 12 inches wide. And you can see that I probably should have made them a little bit longer. I'm probably going to shorten this down so that the tire can go in a little bit more. But this is 12 inches right here, and I probably should have gone a little bit longer, maybe like 15 inches. So I have the vehicle in park, I have the parking brake set, and I'm using wheel chocks on both the rears for safety. Here's what it looks like from the front end. I think I will have plenty of room to get underneath there. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to swing it out of the way. I have the underside unlatched, and yep, I absolutely can swing it out of the way. Sorry for the poor camera work. I'm doing this one-handed, so you could get those out of the way. Now, I would prefer it to be deeper on the top there, so I'm definitely going to be lowering that down. I'm going to be shortening them so that I can get the tire deeper on there. But it just kind of keeps me going off the front edge. Now you might ask yourself, why would I want to make ramps instead of buying them? Well, a lot of the ramps that I'm finding come in plastic, and they have hit and miss reviews. Like, there's a lot of them that are cracking, some of them blow out, and I just didn't want to take that risk. The metal ones don't really fit underneath your more low profile cars. I do have a set of metal ramps that I inherited from my dad, but they will not work on this car because of the angle. As far as my Tacoma goes, I don't really need ramps. I can get underneath it just fine to do oil changes, so I don't need the ramps to do oil changes on that. It was just to do oil changes on this car to make it easier. I just never liked jacking it up, so I'm glad to have a set of ramps. So after recording the video and putting these away, I did think of something else that I might want to do with these. So I might want to take a couple more of these latches, since I have plenty more, and put a couple more on each side, probably a pair of them on each side to connect them together. Take this handle, which I only bought one for some reason. I kind of feel like I needed two for two, whatever. I only bought one. I could attach it to that end, and then the other end I could attach a caster. Well, I thought that I had some extra wheels laying around. I was wrong, I couldn't find them. And this just might be overkill. This is what I have on hand, but I think that might be overkill. What do you think? I did end up cutting that top piece down. I took an inch off from it, and I also took a router to the edge of it and rounded it, so I'd be able to get the tire just a little bit deeper on there. It did work just fine, but a little bit more peace of mind. I don't like having it on that back edge, especially if I were to fold these out of the way. Maybe there'd be too much leverage on the back end and maybe tip backwards, I don't know. Better safe than sorry. So these are a couple of the thoughts that I have. If I end up doing any of this, I'll do a quick short on it just as an update or an additional video. But as of right now, I don't have all of the things that I would like in order to do something like that. And I think that big tire would be a little bit more than I want on there. So if you are curious about any of the measurements of the pieces of wood, I will put that in the description below and how many pieces of each that you will need. Everybody's application will be different, but it might give you a place to start. And also I will put it as if you were cutting them all out of 2x10s, and if you want to do anything different, you can just replace 2 of them with 2x4s or whatever else. Obviously, make adjustments, make it your own. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. So if this is your first time here, I am a do-it-yourselfer. My videos range all over the place, from DIY projects like this to stuff that I've done to my Tacoma, installing my own solar system, and even pew-pews are sprinkled in there. And honestly, that's what's been growing the channel the fastest, so I'm definitely gonna stick with that. But if you don't like how sporadic and all over the place I am, then don't subscribe. If you're okay with that, then do. But that's it for this video, and we'll catch you on the next project. See ya.